Well, this won't do. Much better. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Kenji Martial Arts. Now, today I am going to jump on the hype train which has been going around martial arts circles on YouTube, and I'm going to take a look at this, the Karatejournal, a fantastic tool created by the one and only Sensei Les, a karate instructor and author of fantastic titles such as The Anxious Black Belt and Rules for Success in Karate. Now, this book isn't really a book. I know. This, people, is a tool, a journal if you will. Wait, where did I read that again? This is a tool for tracking and recording progress with karate, and I guess you could use it with any other martial art as well. Like with practical martial arts, this thing has got to be fit for purpose. So that's going to be my success criteria for today. Now, for those of you who don't know, Sensei Les does a lot of work for mental health and uses karate as a method of helping people to cope with their mental well-being. And following that theme, Sensei Les has made this a prominent element in this journal too, but I'll get into that a bit later. So without further ado, let's dive in. Now, opening this book, we're greeted by an introduction about how this journal came about, through Sensei Les using lots of various notepads to help record and track his progress in his chosen art. However, Sensei Les wanted a book with great structure and focus, not just to monitor how he was performing in his chosen art, but how it was affecting his mood before and after training. Then it's followed by an explanation of the first few sections. There's even a place to write down encouraging and inspirational quotes, things to get you up and excited. I personally take my quotes from various media, like Rip and Tear from Doom, or Restomp the Groin from Enter the Dojo. Truly deep and insightful words. Now, the next two sections are where you write down your long and medium term goals. A long term goal might be to become a black belt in your chosen art, or to travel and train with a certain practitioner who lives very far away. A medium term goal might be to win a local tournament, improve your flexibility, or complete a challenge at your local buffet. It's entirely up to you, but it's great to write these things down. That way you don't lose your thoughts and you've got a clear goal you can start working towards. Plus, if you write it down in pen, there's no way to erase it, so there's literally no way you can get out of doing your goals. You are destined to do it now. Win the lottery 10 times in a row. Next is an explanation of the main pages and an inspirational story about some koi fish who decided to give the middle finger to gravity and said, "Screw you, I'm climbing up a waterfall." And they did it. Okay, I'm not letting a fish beat me, I'm putting a hose on the roof and getting some gloves. Now, before I discuss the main pages of this, there's one more section to do with your training mindset. Now, this is very interesting. I think this plays into the mental health theme of this book as well. Sensei Les lists down 5 elements to keep in mind, and in not too many words, I'm just going to briefly go over them. Number 1. You take priority. Make sure that what you're doing is making yourself happy and that you're in the right training groups who support you in your journey. Number 2. Challenge yourself. Find new things to tackle and tackle them into the ground. Keep learning and don't be stagnant. Number 3. Be accountable. Accept that some things are in your control and accept that some things are not in your control. But the results of the things that are in your control are dependent on you. Number 4. Forgive yourself. We can't go back in time and change the past. At least not without a certain hot tub. But instead we can learn from our mistakes and focus on our future. Number 5. Accept your own journey. We succeed and we fail. But it's all part of the learning process and the rocky and winding road of martial arts. Just make sure you enjoy the journey. Now, let me get on to the main pages. They're split up into give or take 6 overall sections. For the date, then a section for your goal for the session, so learn a new kata, beat a certain person in sparring, learn a new technique. The next section is to write down what happened in that session, what you practiced and what you actually learnt. Then a section to discuss your mood before and after the session. Now, this is something very interesting. we never normally take into account how our training makes us feel before or after the session. If we have anxiety, if we're feeling excited or happy or just not in the mood for training. And you might feel differently after the session. Maybe this session made you feel better. Maybe this session made you feel not so good. If so, you can look through your own writing and see what could have made you feel this way. And there's also a bit to let us score how the session made us feel overall. Then the last section is an area where we would write any feedback or notes made about our performance during the session. The last bit we write about is what we did well, what went good. Sensei Les said he wanted to end this page on a positive note, and so he did. Then after every 30 pages there's a page for us to do a progress review in relation to how we're doing to our long and medium term goals. Won the lottery twice, but now £30 million in debt due to failed potato factory venture. This is a place to see and reflect upon how you're doing. Sensei Les also encourages you to discuss these goals with your instructor to see how you're doing and maybe if they even need re-evaluating. So that's the journal. Now let me talk about what I absolutely love about this. This tool gives you the ability to compare and contrast your training progression and your goals with your mental state. It's very, very clever. Either this is an accident or Sensei Les is a mad genius. In anything you do that you do well, you'll more than likely be left in a very positive and happy mindset. You can now track that all right here. You can see how well you feel and how well you perform and see the correlation. Now, because it's only fair, I should say something that I don't like about it. Don't look at me like that, I have to be objective. It's paper. Now, it might just be my own personal preference, but I prefer things that are digital. Literally everything that people check or read these days is on their phones. So to now add a physical book which doesn't really fit in my training bag without getting squashed and requiring a pencil to write in is a bit of an inconvenience. I'm so sorry, Les, but considering all the positives, I think I can accept it. Jokes aside, I would highly recommend for anyone who practices martial arts to pick up a copy of this and start writing. This completely meets my criteria of being fit for purpose. Just not fit for my training bag. You can get your copy off Amazon. The link is in the description along with all the other links for Sensei Les's works. Please be sure to go check them out and support his channel. Anyway, that's all from me for today, so if you please like, comment, subscribe, hit me up on Insta. And of course, I wish you all the best with your training, with this book at your side. Take care.